what's transpiring is happening in Irvington. There was a motel owner, and he was running what we would call in the old days a dive. It's a house of nuisance, pimps, prostitution, drug dealings going on in this motel. The citizens of Irvington remained tight and determined, and they got the motel closed down, which they should have done. They did a great job. They never gave up. They never gave in. Well, so this inn has remained vacant for a long time, and no one has bought it or anything. So there it sits as a huge eyesore to the community. And so recently, the owner of the motel offered to give it to the Good News Mission to use as they would see fit to help the homeless. But now, in reality, I think the gent was just plain mad and wanted to stick it to the community by giving this away, even if the reason may appear to be a good reason, because this way he is sticking it to Irvington like they did to him, deservingly so. You see, if he offers it to the Good News Mission, he knows the residents of Irvington do not want a shelter there, do not want the homeless put there in one place, okay? He knows that this is his way of getting back at them for maintaining and getting rid of a house of nuisance. So that's what's behind it all. And the Good News Mission wants to make it a place for up to 160 people to stay. And those 160 people comprise of families. Now, the citizens of Irvington do not want this. And I know they have their reasons. But my reason is different than their reason. Their reasons are good, and I agree with them in most part. And I think it's very nice that the Good News Mission wants to do something to help the homeless. This isn't it. My view is I don't want a mental health ghetto anywhere, whether it's Irvington, Southport, Brightwood, downtown. We don't need another mental health ghetto. I don't want it there. It isn't going to end homelessness, and I don't know why they think that's the answer. If it's just to contain the homeless, yep, that's what it'll do, all right. It'll contain them, creating yet again another poorhouse. And here we have what I was talking about while we were driving in the car. This is the motel in question. And here you can see the back part of it. We showed the front part, but here's the back part of it. And this is probably what they were talking about, a play area for the children. Now, there's going to be a lot of children, and that is a very small area. Now, part of my problem with this is not the right place to put any homeless if you wanted to do so. You can see how small those rooms were. Now, if you're going to have a family of 4, 2 children and a pair of adults, you're going to have 4 people living in a small motel room. One question should be asked, are they going to have a stove? Are they going to have a refrigerator big enough? Where are they going to eat? If not individual stoves, is there going to be a dining area for these people? They have to eat. You know, they're going to have a loss of privacy. They're going to be housed with people they don't even know in a very close proximity. So that presents a problem. And some of these people you won't want to live with. There are many different types of homeless families, and to mix and match them is not a good idea. So if you wouldn't want to live here, why would you put someone else there? You know, sometimes their place on the street is a lot bigger than one of those rooms. And I wonder, once they're there, what's going to happen 5 years from now when the Good News Mission thinks, let's have some transits on the 3rd floor or the 1st floor. Let's change this about a little bit. Then it's no longer purely for homeless families. And they would have the right to do that. So I think you need to ask a lot of questions. What is this going to stop? Would this prevent and stop homelessness? Nope. You can have 50 Indy East motels all across this city, and it will not end homelessness or prevent homelessness. Another thing you ought to find out, is this going to be entirely free? Is this what you call low-cost housing? What just exactly is this? So my people that I work with out on the street, my homeless families, can't afford low-cost housing. And I think instead of putting all the monies, I would love to have all the monies that's going to be used to repair this hole. I would love to have those monies. And I think of 160 homeless people. I bet you anything, if I had the money, or someone else with me had the money, we could house 160 people, get them off the street permanently. You know, what comes with this is rules and regulations. Once the families are off the street, they no longer can smoke when they want to. They can't drink if they want to have a drink. Those rules and regulations. Are these kids going to be allowed to have their friends over to spend the night? How could they do that in that close, proximity? Would you want your child to spend the night in a one motel room with 3 or 4 people? Where's that child going to sleep? So is mom and dad going to have any privacy in this motel room? There are a lot of questions to be asked. This is not appropriate for homeless families, or their families that might want to help them and get them out of here. So think of the entire picture. Don't think of what the wonderful works of the Good News Mission does, which I'm sure they do. And they have wonderful programs in their neighborhood. That has nothing to do with the Indy East Motel and homeless families living in this. A lot of questions need to be asked. I don't care how neat and clean and well managed that is. It's not right for homeless families. Put all your emphasis in trying to find a family member, a neighbor, a church, anyone who can help them get their own independent living. Why can't they see about SSI, unemployment checks, training? Why can't they try to see if families could send a check? Maybe 3 or 4 members of that family. That's what happens to me. I have trailer courts that are very useful and helpful to me, and have somebody live in a trailer until they get on their feet. There are lots and lots of answers. We're not doing it. Why do we keep doing it? We isolate it. Once again, another welfare system is going to be created for the homeless. Also, homeless money, domestic violence, and the poor all combined together, and they should be separate. So take all that money that was going to be to repair it, remove the asbestos, fix this up, throw all these families that don't know each other together in a very close area. Why not take that money, come with me, come out on the street, find a homeless family living between Kmart and Fazoli's and other places, and take them and give them a nice little place to live as a family unit. Not with a bunch of other people who see things hopeless because they're all together. When you put this many people who've been on the street together, some of them may have been in prison together, panhandling together, and you put all these homeless families in with all of that, because some of them are part of that. Your homeless families, mom and dad do that. So you're just perpetuating the misery. All they see is everything being hopeless. So why not give them an individual unit all their own, so things aren't hopeless? Why would you put homeless families together? I would never do that and haven't done that. Nor should they. So that's my point. That's how I feel very strongly about it. And it needs to be done a different way. These mental health ghettos, these poorhouses are costly in more ways than one. And what it does to the children, you would not believe. For instance, once the families are in here, it's labeled the homeless place. This is where the homeless families are. So when the kids come out and they want to get on to school, but that's where all the homeless kids are. So they go to school. Everybody knows them as the homeless kids. So I like to get rid of that stigma, not even to subject them to that. Why aren't we doing it? Why don't we change? This area, Irvington, could be a forerunner on doing something right. And I don't know why we're not doing it. I don't know why we do this and not get a decisive, systematic plan for each individual homeless. You would think the people that work with them would understand that. Why do you want to keep housing them and having control over them? Let them go and live free the way they want to. I do not like help by condition. When I get somebody off the street or I'm helping somebody, I don't tell them they have to do this and this and that. They have to pray. They have to do this. I may not like them. Half of them I don't like. I don't help on condition. I just help. I try to get them off the street. That's what the main priority should be. They're not sockless, shoeless. They don't belong in a motel. They are homeless. Get them a home. Create a tax base and a voting base. They will not have either there.